Welcome back to the Challenge podcast. I'm Coach Nick, and today I have got with me one of our January Challenge top 10s. I have got the amazing, one of my favorites, Mel Cook. Hi, Mel. How are you?
Hi, Nick. I'm great. How are you?
Very good. Very good. I was just saying to you off air before how much I love your physique. It's absolutely amazing.
And that's such a compliment coming from someone as awesome as you. So that's just more than what I could have ever dreamed to achieve.
Oh, I'm so happy thank you so much for saying that. But the credit's all to you. I'm looking at your picture here, I mean, you know what you look like, but like look at those quads and everything, my girl. You know how we love a good quad.
Yeah, we do love quads.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself to start off with. Tell us what do you do for work and how did you come across the challenge?
So the work and the challenge probably come together in that I've actually taught group fitness for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've transitioned to a full-time office job as a bookkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
So here's this person that's always been so active and now sits on her butt for 8 hours a day. So into the late 40s, so 47. And whilst I've never had a problem with my weight, I've started to gain weight where women do, around the belly, around the tops of the thighs. And I was flicking through Facebook and I thought, wow, that actually looks like a really good program. I'd just seen some transformations and I started to have a look a little bit deeper into it. And this was my third challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So once I'd found out that it was such a family-friendly, no stupid diets program, I was hooked.
Well, did you do back-to-back challenges?
I did. So I did the first 2 6-week challenges, and I must admit the first one, I was just dipping my toes in a little and trying to work out, what worked for me. And I didn't get the results that I wanted, but it's so true, you get out what you put in. I hadn't put in the effort that I needed to get where I wanted to be. So by the second challenge, I was over the training. I knew what I needed to do. And it just works. It's such a brilliant program.
What do you think changed the very most between the first challenge and this challenge to get you such amazing results?
Definitely the nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So I tightened up the nutrition. I, like a lot of women who have 3 boys, get quite stressed at times. So in the past, I'd turn to that glass of wine on a weekend and probably dealt with things with food a lot more than I should have. So tightening up the nutrition and steps. Once I started including those 10,000 steps consistently every day, that really was the difference.
You're so right. Isn't it true? And do you know what? I've spoken to a couple of people today that have said that. Isn't it true that just those 10,000 steps can make such a difference to everything? And if you don't include them, it's like you sort of notice that difference, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And that was the difference between the first and the second challenge and the third. That was the only thing that I really did differently and committed to getting in every day.
And it's funny because it's something that's actually not horrifically unpleasant once you find a way to fit it into your day. It's just a walk, and you can listen to a podcast, or you can just enjoy the nature, or go be on a phone call to your friend or something like that. It's not torture, is it, that 10,000 steps?
Not at all.
Yeah,
it's like you said, just fitting it in. And I think once you make it a habit, so for me that was getting up and getting it done before everybody was up in the house.
Yeah.
So just getting up, putting the podcast on and getting the steps in. If I waited until I got home, it was not going to happen.
Yeah, I so agree with you. And that's the story for a lot of women as well, because we shoulder a lot of the household stuff. It doesn't matter if, you've got the best most helpful partner in the world. You just do. You end up doing so much stuff. And unless you prioritize your own sort of things that you want to do, like your training and steps, they just don't get done.
They don't.
Especially with you with three boys. I mean, yeah, I've got two girls, but three boys. I mean, how old are they?
So I've got two teenagers. So one's just turned 16, the other one's 14 and a half, and I've got a 9-year-old.
Yeah, you're doing well, and congratulations.
Thanks.
What do they think of their mum, or are they just like, oh, whatever, mum, they're used to you?
No, this is what's been one of the best things to come out of this challenge. They watched me train in the first one, and throughout the second and third one, they've trained with me to the point where they harass me to train with them. So
that's so good.
Anything wonderful to come from this, it's that they're getting into this health and fitness lifestyle that's only going to serve them well as they get older.
That is the best, Mel. That's gold.
It is gold. And I think I did put it as an NSV during the second challenge because most teenagers don't want to hang out with their mum. So for these guys to want to do something like that with me has been great.
Yeah, I actually do remember that. So that makes me so happy, because I love that. And I love that for you, and how you can just show your boys that strength is where it's at for women as well. Strength and just, not being smaller, but just enjoying our bodies and being as healthy and strong and gorgeous as possible. How could you go wrong?
And just the things that you can do when you're stronger.
Yeah.
As a family, we wakeboard, and we've wakeboarded for a long time, but the difference I can now see in my upper body strength has been phenomenal.
That's so good. And coming from the group fitness where you do get strong and you do get fit, but you almost sort of plateau, don't you? Because you can't take it anywhere, because you kind of wear yourself out a lot, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And I think because I've always been scared to weight train, this was such a learning curve for me. And I actually am a little bit like you in that I love it. I hate cardio now.
Me too. It's taken me a long time to get there. It's taken me a heck of a long time. Even now, I still have thoughts where I'm like, oh, I can, the most ridiculous thoughts, like I can just jump on the Stairmaster for an hour and I'm going to beat everyone on there. But it's like, who's on there? No one's on there. It's just that group fitness instructor in me. So I don't think that ever goes away. But if we can, as we get older, like to embrace that the weight training, that's where it's at. That's how we're going to look our absolute best. Because 40 is seriously like the new 20. To be honest, like we've just started. We've just started, my friend. It's all about it's all, what are you going to do with this rig? What's going to happen? What's happening now from here?
I'm just going to keep going. I'm hooked, I've got to say. I love the process. I love the Facebook group, and I just love giving myself something to work towards.
Yeah, it's so good to have those goals. So was your goal to be in the top 10, or what goal did you have?
I have to say, originally no. So first and second challenge, it was just to look better, feel better about myself.
Yeah.
But this challenge, I said to part of the fitness group, just a bunch of girls that do the challenge. So shout out to them. They definitely supported me through this.
Shout out. Who are they? Let's
Adriana Cullen, Sylvia.
Yep. Oh.
Jodie Clark. Yeah. So just
hey girls. How are you all? That's great. Yeah, that'd be good help for you.
They were great, and just having that. So definitely I did voice my goals to them at the start of this challenge, that I would love to get in top 10.
And you did, because you said it out loud. I
couldn't believe it. When it was announced, I couldn't believe it.
I know. Where were you and what were you doing when it was announced?
I was watching the live in bed with my 3 boys because my husband was away. And I think they cheered as much as I did.
Oh, that is just the nicest thing ever. I love that. I love that. How exciting. And I think your prize will be coming out soon, because it hasn't come yet, has it? So it'll be like in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So that's on its way. So just tell me a bit about the process of the challenge for you. Like, tell me, do you meal prep, and do you do a home gym, or tell me all about that for you?
So I despise cooking.
Yeah.
So any meal for me that's going to work has to be simple.
Yep.
So I have kept it super simple, and I recall listening to you having a couple of discussions with some other women that had done really well, and their message was keep it simple.
Yeah.
So I've run with that. So for me, lunch is a can of tuna, some rice, and some frozen veggies. You can't get more simple than that.
That's perfect. So that's me all over.
Yeah. So anything that I can quickly grab, that I can have on hand so that I don't make bad choices, that's what works for me.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? It's very tasty. Like, you don't really get sick of it, do you?
No, I love tuna, veggies and rice. And I'm lucky that I have quite a bland palate. So I'm not looking for a lot of spices and creams and flavors, which is a good thing.
Yeah. And do you go to the gym, or do you guys have like a setup at home?
So I do a couple of different things. So now that I've retired officially from group fitness, I haven't set foot in an actual gym since then. So I'm lucky enough, where I work, the accounting firm that I work at, there is a man cave with a fully set up gym. So
that's so good.
I use my lunch break to work out at work, because they've got everything. If I don't get it done for whatever reason, I do have a little setup at home that I work out with the boys in.
Oh, that's wonderful that your work has that. I mean, it'd be great if more workplaces had that, because it's so good for your just for your self-esteem and things like that, that you actually end up being better at work anyway.
And I think a mental release.
Yeah.
Sat in front of a screen for most of the day, you go out and you bang it out in the gym, and it makes you feel better when you come back into the office.
That is so cool. I'm so happy for you that you have that. That's awesome. So there's really no excuses for you.
None whatsoever.
But you didn't use any, and that's why you got to where you got to. What was your biggest challenge, do you reckon, and it doesn't have to just be in this challenge, it could be in all of them. Like, what was some hurdles that you faced?
I would still have to say getting the steps in. So although I had a good routine by the third challenge, I would still say that was definitely one of the biggest roadblocks for me. I find the nutrition really easy to do. The training, I find that really easy to fit in, although, it is hard work, but I think we all get addicted to that process as well. So for me, it was definitely just getting the steps in.
And did you split it up, or did you do it all in one go?
I had to do it all in one go.
Yeah.
Because I find by the time I get home, my job's quite a mentally draining job. So by the time I get home, even though it's physical and, you're walking, it's not requiring any brain power, I just find when I get home, I'm done. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very similar to me. I think, it's almost like you have to compartmentalize stuff. So it's like, that is done. Now I can get on with this, and then I can get on with that. And hopefully it all comes together in one beautiful big mess at the end of the day, where everything's done. And if someone's, missing out on something, I'll catch up with it later, as long as you can get all your things done. So ticking off the training, ticking off your meals, simple. Did you have to cook for your family, or do they just take care of themselves with everything?
I'm extremely lucky. I have a husband who cooks, who likes to cook.
That's
so
awesome.
Cooks every night, and did cook some of the recipes from the challenge.
How good.
So it was great. So we all had a few of those.
Yeah.
Which was really good. So no, I don't cook.
And that's awesome that your husband can do that. I mean, like it's great. It's good when they do that. And it's excellent for the family when everyone can chip in. And I think the way that life is these days, everybody in the family needs to do something to keep it all going because everyone's so busy. So that is good. That's very supportive because you need supportive people around you and a support network. So that's awesome. So are you going to do the next challenge, do you reckon?
I'm definitely going to do the next challenge.
Yeah. Are you wondering when it's going to start? Like everybody else?
I saw something today saying July.
Yeah.
So
yes,
I need
to that's right.
Find something to keep me on track until
I know
then.
we'll be having the app, so that's really good. So tell me, like, a couple more things. What would be your advice to someone who's brand new starting the challenge? Like, what are some things that you would suggest that they do? Like, they're looking just okay, so they open the app, they look at it, and they go, "Whoa, where would they start?"
So I have 3 simple pieces of advice, and the first one would be keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us try to overcomplicate things. So with the app, when it comes out, I think you just got to choose foods that you like.
Mm-hmm.
And many of us don't mind eating things over and over. So I think if you're someone who can do that, run with it. It'll make your life so much easier. In terms of training, it's just forming good habits. If you form that good habit from the start, you start to look for it. So I think consistency comes from forming habits. So they say a habit is formed after 7 days. So if you can stick it out for that first 7 days, it will become more a part of your life.
Yeah.
And once it is, it's really not hard to stick to something.
That's such good advice. And this is off the cuff, this one here, but I have to ask you, you know how you were saying at one point in something that I read that you'd written about how you were afraid to embrace your physique in terms of muscles and that. What do you think of your body now? Like, how would you describe it now?
So I do have a muscular physique, and I always have had. But in the past, I have tried to diet that away. Coming from a group fitness background where the thinner you were, the better, I think it's taken me 47 years to get in my head that that's not the case. I think if you're strong, if you've got good muscle tone, you're going to look so much better at 60 than, someone who's done nothing or who's just skinny. So I've finally learned to embrace that I am muscular, and that makes me lucky.
Yes.
Because people spend, years trying to build that muscle up.
Yep.
So, if you've got it naturally there, embrace it. Don't fight it.
I know, like, give me some of that. Because I've fought for every single bit of that. But so obviously, you downplay it. You say you naturally, but the thing is, at the same time, you've worked hard for that. That shape does not come. Yeah. So, I mean, you're very humble, but you know what? People are going to ask you now to help them on their journey. They're going to say, like, give me some advice, help me out, Mel. So are you ready to help other people on their journey? I suppose as a group fitness instructor, that's always been something that you've enjoyed.
It comes a bit natural to me, I guess. I mean, in the past, I did spend some time as a personal trainer as well.
Yeah.
So I do like that aspect. So if anyone wanted to reach out and thought I had something to offer, I'd be happy to help them along, because that's how I have gotten where I am, reaching out to Maria and Adriana.
So I mean, that group's been kicking butt at the moment, hasn't it? With everybody, everybody's been doing well. So
Jolene was amazing. So to see a few of us up there in the top 10 from that group was really exciting.
I think it's like, I mean, it's always good to have a support network of like-minded people, isn't it, when you're doing something like this?
Absolutely. And I have to say, for me, I lent quite heavily on the Facebook group. So another piece of advice is ask questions, like lean on the Facebook group, use the resources that you've got. There's so many people in that Facebook group that really have if they're not full of ideas, they're full of motivation. And sometimes when you're having a bad day, just getting on that Facebook group and seeing something inspirational that someone's posted will be enough for you to go, right, I can do this.
You're so right. And you never know, when you're posting, you never know who you're going to help, and the other way around, like, when you click on, you're always going to get something out of it. And whether you post, or you just read what's going on, or you just watch the videos or anything like that, there's something for everyone, isn't there? You can be quiet or you can be noisy, and you know,
and even if you're quiet, like you said, just absorb it, take it all in. You don't have to post every day to get the most out of the group.
Not at all.
I just think the people that do post often do have some really inspiring things to share, and that's motivating for everyone.
Absolutely. And I hope you'll do a few posts moving forward, because you are also motivating and inspiring for everyone. So you need to embrace that and get the coach out in you and bring it out on the Facebook group. Just when you can, we appreciate people such as yourself. So tell me, Mel, this is off the cuff, but I think this is my new thing. I think I make everyone do it. I would love you to tell me your motto. How do you live your life, and what's your motto that you tell yourself every day?
Just do it, like the Nike symbol.
Yep.
That's how I live my life at my age. I'm just happy to have my health, happy to have my family, and be able to be an active and sporty role model for my kids. So, never be afraid to try something. You might fail, but fail forward. Get up, brush yourself off, try again. And I think in terms of a challenge, because it is for 12 weeks, not all of us are going to be able to be perfect, and that's okay. What matters is that you get up and you get on with it.
Exactly. That is so true. That is so true, because that is exactly like life. And if you're expecting a perfect run, then you won't know how to do it. Just say you miraculously had 12 weeks of perfection. Then you get out there 12-week day one after that, and something bad happens. You don't even know how to cope. You need to learn how to cope in the worst times, so then you know how you can deal.
Yeah. That's what I've loved about this program. This teaches you to implement good habits into your life. It's not about 12 weeks, 6 weeks. It's not about that. It's about setting up a sustainable training and nutrition program that's going to, see you through.
Exactly. I'm so glad that you said that, because I think that's, as coaches, I think that's so important for us to give that to you guys, to help you guys all learn that, because that's how we live our lives, and we wouldn't want anything else. And it's not just for 12 weeks, it's forever. That's why we want different phases for you all and everything, like you can't be on a diet forever.
No, you can't. And that's what's so valuable. In the past, I have been on, the eternal diet.
Yeah, we all have.
It doesn't work long term, and it doesn't fit into your life. And what doesn't fit into your life, you won't stick to. So it's not sustainable.
So true. So true. Well, it's been basically with you today, gem after gem after gem of fitness advice and motivation and everything. So, Mel, I want you to really, if you can, just stay on our group and keep motivating and inspiring everybody. And I don't know how much, I don't know if you've got goals to get into the top 10 again or whatever, but I'm there for you. I'm for it.
I definitely have goals. Yeah, definitely have goals to be there again. And I'll definitely be still an active part of the Facebook group. I think I consider you guys, almost like friends now, even though, you don't meet these people, but it's just a connection that you have that's, quite addictive. So you definitely see me.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I love it. As I said to you, one of my favorite physiques. So you can do no wrong in my eyes. Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much, Nick. And it was lovely chatting.
Thank you so much.